Hey, 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 it's Tia, baby. And I am back with another video. It's been a minute. But before I begin, I want to say shout out to to the to the courts of Texas, the judge, the everything affiliated with this case. Thank you for the end result, which is Yolanda Saliva was denied parole for the unfortunate demise of Selena-related Perez. So that is a celebration, a bittersweet moment, because of course we all want Selena here physically. And even though, like Chris said in his statement that he posted today, even though this celebration doesn't bring her back, it does, justice was served. And it shows that she has still, and her life was justified. Meaning the person that was responsible for her demise is still put away. And I think even though she is not able to be released, it's probably beneficial for her, because I've read in comments that people will be waiting for her at the gates if she would have been released. And she's not safe in these streets. I mean, Selena has billions of fans, not millions, but billions of fans in all parts of the world, and especially in the Latino countries, Texas, New York, everywhere. I mean, from one coast to the other, from one island to the other, from one country to the other. So she got millions and billions of fans, and if they found out that, and if it was announced that Yolanda was released, how is she going to live her life in peace? Really? How? It was probably better for her to be indoors. I mean, not indoors, but incarcerated, because it would be no real peaceful life for her outside of those walls. And then she missed out on 30 years of life anyway. Like, she done missed 3 decades of life. She was the last time she was in society, technology wasn't like that, and was the life that she knew, and how Texas looked back in 95, I'm sure it doesn't look that way in 2025. So yeah, she'll be lost. I mean, I ain't trying to be funny, but it's like, girl, you better just stay where you at, because it is no point of you walking the streets of Texas or anywhere. But congratulations is in order to the Quintanilla family, the Perez family, and all the fans all over the world. But I don't think people were even worried that she wouldn't be, released or not. Like, I think everybody knew she wouldn't be, because it really doesn't make any sense for her to be out in these streets, for real. It really wouldn't, especially in Texas. No. But on to the next. So I will post on this video the statement that Chris post on his page. I don't know if I believe he is the one that wrote the statement, but it's on behalf of the Quintanilla family and himself. And he, said some great and loving words to the fans about Selena, and he made a great point. We're not celebrating the demise, the demise of her, but her what she gave to the world. Um, no one should be focused on her passing, but what she contributes to this world, and her music, and what she did when she was here. It's very unfortunate that she's not, and it's very heartbreaking to talk about her, and she's not here. And it's like that with anybody that lost a loved one, or lost someone that's very like important, or that contribute to a community or the world. Is very, like, it's very sad when you talk about Michael Jackson, or it's just it's a bittersweet moment. But music lasts forever, but it's just still that sting in your heart. Not, in the reality that person that made that wonderful music is not here physically to know or acknowledge people from different generations appreciating their music and their essence, and their mark that they made on this earth. But we're not going to be sad and anything like that. We're going to continue to celebrate her, and just be grateful that her fake friend is not being released, or her parole is being denied. So that's that. I did notice that some supporters were sending me like a couple of documentaries that are featured, that's featuring Selena. Like, I know there's one on Hulu that a supporter has sent me, and there's another one, I believe, on YouTube. I don't know if I still have Hulu. Something with my Hulu is messed up, but I'm gonna see if I can try to get it. If not, I might have to use someone else's, like a relative, like my mom's account. I don't know, but I know I have a Hulu account. It's just every time I go on it, it links me back to what is it, Disney Plus. So I think I linked both of them, but because it's linked, I can't access a lot of like certain shows on there and things. So hopefully I can see it. But if not, it's okay. I am patiently waiting for the documentary, the never before scenes of the documentary that was originally released on Sundance. I'm waiting for it to be released on a streaming network so I can watch it. As it should have been a long time ago, but I'm not going to go back on that. If you want to watch my video where I talk about that, it's, I think, before this one, or the video before that one. But I have one out there. So that's that. Also, I just saw that Jennifer Lopez just posted an advertisement on her story. She is in a new movie, and she did a side-by-side picture of her and Edward James Olmos from Selena, and a current picture of them two together. They basically did a retouch of that video, of that picture 28 years ago and now versus now. And I think she also did it for celebration of the fact that Yolanda, it will not be released. But she has a new movie coming out, and Edward James Olmos is going to be playing her dad again. I may watch that movie. I might, I might. But that's cool. That was that. Anything else? Hmm. There has been some wonderful pictures surfing the internet, primarily Instagram. They're doing a lot of AI videos and pictures of like Selena and Chris, married, being at their wedding, having being pregnant, and it's some of them look fake, and one in particular that I post on my page, my YouTube page, it looks so good. It looks so authentic. It's actually from the IG page that girl who, I think she's an impersonator, and that she reenacted the demise of Selena at the hotel and everything. And I had did a whole video on that. I think I did it like 2 years ago. Check it out if you haven't. But I don't remember her name, but I know she was recently featured on a talk show. Don't know where, but I know it was a Spanish speaking talk show, and Chris met her for the first time on that talk show. If you know, you know who I'm talking about. You can post her name in the comment section. But that's where I got that wedding picture from, and it looks so real. Like it looked like it just looked like they renewed their vows, this year or something. Like they look like they aged a little bit, but of course graciously, appropriately. It just looks so real, and I wish it was. I don't know if Chris seen it. I hope he did, but I don't know. I'm sure he did because it's the internet. But it was a very nice picture of them, wedding picture, AI picture of them. Check it out. Like I said, I posted on my YouTube page, and it's also on the page of that impersonator. Don't remember her name, but if you know her name, go check it out on her page. Any more Selena news? Let's see. Well, yeah, I did see some recent pictures of, Chris and and the whole Quintanilla family and some friends at the premiere of the Sundance documentary. They all took a picture in front of the building that the premiere was in. They also did snippets of some interviews of, I guess, some of Los Dinos. They did like some interviews like before, after the premiere, and it was great to see all of the Los Dinos on stage. They pretty much look the same. Of course, they look a little older, but they still look the same. You know who was who. So that was great. It did seem like Chris looked the youngest, but I think he was the youngest. Well, excluding Selena, I think he was the youngest. Him and Selena were the youngest in the band, but I didn't think they were that much older. But then now I'm thinking about, I forgot John Sheldon. I mean, is it John Sheldon? The backup dancer. He wasn't on the stage. Of course, he passed some years back. And I didn't see the Barrio brothers, Barrio boys. I forgot his name, but I know I did a video on him, about him. If you remember his name, I'm good with names normally, but if you don't stand out to me like that, I may forget your name. I forgot his name, but if you remember his name, put it in the comment section. But of course, the only Barrio Boys member that was the background dancer in the Los Dinos. I didn't see. Oh, Freddie, I think his name Freddie. I don't know his last name, but Freddie. I don't know. I don't think I seen him on stage at the premiere. He may have been there. I don't know, but I doubt it, because if he was, he would have been on stage. But I didn't see him. But I'm sure he wishes them well, and I'm sure he saw the documentary or will see the documentary. Who knows? I'm still waiting on. I'm surprised that what's his name? Martin Gomez wasn't there. I mean, I don't know if they were inviting all of the people that were affiliated with Selena, but it would have been nice to see Martin Gomez at the premiere. I don't know if he is close with the family. I don't know, I don't really know the relationship he has with the family per se. Maybe he lost touch with them, once time went on, but I would expect he should have been there. I feel because he really still have a strong bond with Selena even after her passing, and so unless he just didn't want, maybe he is so hurtful that he may not want to go because it would have brought too many sad memories. I don't know, but it would have been nice for him to be there. I'm going to visit his page. I want to see if he, I'm sure he posted something, especially in celebration of Yolanda not being released. I'm sure. But I'm still waiting on his book. If his book is out and I didn't know, please let me know, because my plan was to read his book and read it and do a not a commentary, but like a read aloud on my channel, just like I did with Selena with Love by Chris Perez. I want to do the same thing for his book, and I also want to do some videos, some commentary videos about his book after I read it. But I haven't seen his book. I don't know if he's still working on it or what, or I don't know if the dictator is like preventing him from putting it out, or maybe he just took a break on it. But if anybody found out if he released his book about Selena and his times with Selena, let me know so I can buy it, so I can read it and give y'all some more content, please. But yeah, that's that. If I feel like I'm missing some stuff, but I just don't know. Because, this is Selena season. Usually March, April is like Selena season where everything is Selena. It is, of course, everything is Selena like all the time, but it's like very, very frequent around this time of year. But I don't know if I mentioned it in the other video, that I felt like it was very ironic that they, her, Yolanda's, well, not even alleged, Yolanda's supposed, parole date was like the day before Selena passed away. I just felt like that was just kind of eerie, but good thing she's not going to be released. But still, I just thought that was just kind of eerie. Oh, it was something I want to talk about. So a supporter had sent me a clip of Chris being interviewed by, I don't know if she was a legit interviewer or journalist or whatever. I don't know, or it was just a fan just asking questions. I don't know. But in the interview, or in the questionnaire, I'm just going to say interview, the girl asked, well, some people in the comments was like she was very disrespectful and unprofessional, and the questions weren't needed. So one of the questions was, and I'm going to post it in the video if I can find it. If I still have it, I'm going to post that in the video, but towards the end. So you'll see it at the end of this video. But the video was basically saying that she was asking him, mentioning, she brought up her Selena's birthday. She was like, her birthday's coming up. da 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 da. Sorry, I'm getting over something. And he was kind of brushed it off, not brush it off in a rude way, but like, really kind of overlooking that question or that statement, because I think it's because out of respect for Selena and her beliefs, because Selena was a Jehovah's Witness, so she didn't celebrate her birthday. And I'm not gonna say she never acknowledged it. She has. I've heard her in an interview acknowledge that her birthday is in April, but she doesn't follow like the signs, like Scorpio, Aries, all of those. She don't follow that. She don't believe in that. But she knows that her birthday is in April. I remember that. But he didn't really answer, like, mention anything when she said that. And I'm assuming it's because she didn't acknowledge her birthday, so he doesn't acknowledge her birthday out of respect for her beliefs. I could be wrong, but that's what I'm assuming. Then she also mentioned, this is before the verdict, but she also mentioned Yolanda's expected parole date, which was the day before Selena passed, and he brushed her off again. And she was like, what do you think about that? And he said, I don't think about it. He said, I don't. I mean, which is a fair answer. It's her husband or her late husband? Well, not late husband, her widower. So why would he think about the woman that took his wife away from him? Make it make sense. Why would he even want to think about that? He don't think. He said the right thing. He don't think about it. He not going to sit up there and dwell on something that broke his heart. And then I mean, and people were dragging her, or not dragging her, but saying that was disrespectful. I mean, if she is a legit journalist or a legit reporter or whatever they call them, her questions are valid as a professional, because you have to ask those uncomfortable questions or those difficult questions, and it may come off to a civilian or someone that isn't in that profession rude, but that is just their job. If she is legit. If she's not legit, if she's just some fan, then yeah, it was very inappropriate for her to ask those type of questions. Then she also, I think those were the only two things she brought up. But like I said, I will put that interview, that quick snippet, at the end of this video. But I don't really have much of an opinion about that. All I know is like I said, if she was a legit journalist or reporter, then her questions were valid. I mean, she has a right to ask them, because that's her job, regardless of how it sounds or what it, or what the questions were about. That as a journalist, you have to ask those uncomfortable questions, because some people may want to know. But if she was just some average person, not trying to say it like that, but if she just a fan or somebody that just want to be nosy and just happen to see Chris and she asking him questions, and yeah, that is rude to be coming and bombarding him with questions that you don't need to be asking, especially if it's not your job. So it depends on if she was a legit one. If she was legit, then it's appropriate. I really don't have nothing really to say, because that's her job. But if she's not one, then yeah, that was out of line. And yeah, but how he responded was very, professional. I mean, it's as nice as it can be. I mean, the man lost his wife. Yeah, it was 30 years ago, but that stuff don't go away. That feeling don't go away. It gets easier over time, probably, but it don't go away. Like, for example, it may not be the same, but I've lost my grandmother. My grandmother was very close. I was very close to her. Very close to her. And, to the point where, of course, all of us have more than one grandmother, because we have two sides of a family. And everybody has two sets of grandmothers, one on your mother's side, one on your father's side. Then you have two sets of great grandmothers, one on your mother's side, one on your father's side. I was fortunate to know all. Well, you have more than that, because you also got to factor in your great grandparents. So I have, everyone has two great grandparents on their mother's side and two great grandparents on their father's side, and then a grandmother on your mother's side and a grandmother on your father's side. So I was fortunate to know my great grandmother both of my great grandmothers on my mother's side, from her mother and her father, from my mother's mother and and my mother's father. And then I was fortunate to know my great grandmother on my father's side. I knew all of them, but out of the three great grandmothers, I was only close to my grandfather's mom. And then I was fortunate to meet both of my grandmothers, my father's mother and my mother's mother, but I wasn't close to either one of them. The only grandparent I was close to was my great grandmother, who was my mother's father's mother, my grandfather's mother. She basically helped raise me, just like she helped raise, my mother and her siblings growing up and stuff. So when she passed away, and she's the only one out of all the, my grandmothers, she's the only one that I actually call grandma. And while everybody else, I call them grandma and their first name. But, she's genuinely like the only one I call my grandmother and grandma. And I had a bond with her. We would talk on the phone for hours, laugh. And then sometimes I didn't feel like, talking on the phone. But once I get on the phone with her, it's over. Like we be on the phone laughing about silly stuff. We just had our own language. And it was so heartbroken. And she was in my life for 16 years. Since I was 16 years old. She passed away when I was 16 years old. And that's fortunate, because some people don't even get to, know their great grandmother and be close with their great grandmother or grandfather. I don't know any of my one, but I don't know. I only met one of my great grandfathers, but that was on, my other side. But my great grandmother was my everything. And still is. And it was very heartbreaking and surreal when she passed away, because, you don't want to think about that. But we all know it would happen, but it's just very heartbreaking. It was very surreal. And it still hurts to this day. And I purposely don't really want to have a relationship with my mother's mother, because that's the only grandmother I had left now, because all the other ones had passed. But I choose not to have a close relationship with her, because I feel like I'm betraying my grandmother that I was close to. Even though it probably wouldn't be a betrayal, but I feel that way, because that's all I knew. And that's all I was close to. And, it still hurts, because she never got to see me graduate from high school. She was this close, but, she never got to see me graduate from college. She never got to see me graduate from grad school. She never got to see me have my child. So it was just a bitter, it was just I'm not going to say bittersweet moment, but it was just an unfortunate moment that she didn't get to see those things. She never got to meet the father of my son. She never got to meet him. And that's because I think she would have liked him. I really think she would have liked him. She probably would have at first been a little territorial, protective, because she's very, protective of all her loved ones. So she probably would have had to fill him out first to see if he about something. But I think if, based on his personality, I think she would like him. I think she would. So it's just, sometimes I get into my thoughts and I think about her, and I look at her pictures and I get emotional. And she's been gone for 23 years. She died in 2002. So she's been gone for almost 23 years, I think. Yeah, almost 20. It will be 23 years in November. And it still hurts sometimes. And it don't feel like it's that long ago. So it's just, So that's why I say it gets easier, but it still hurts. But it's not the same type of hurt because he was in love with her. I wasn't in love with my grandma. It's a different type of love, but it's still a loved one and a lost loved one. But I know it also is a different type of hurt because he got cut short of a lot of milestones. They were getting ready to celebrate their 3rd year anniversary. They were getting ready to they were planning on renewing their vows. They were planning on moving into a bigger house. They were having these big plans once they moved into their house. They also wanted children. And the fact that everything that they, talked about and planned was cut short because of a maniac. And so that is also a icing on the cake of his hurt. Like, yes, he's hurt that he lost her, but he also is hurt that he got cut short of the things that they had planned. And also, he's hurt for Selena because she didn't get to fulfill the things that she wanted career-wise. So, it's a lot of factors. Like with my grandmother, she lived 82 years. So she lived a longer life. She could have lived a couple of more. She could have lived like at least a decade or 2 more. But, she did live a lengthy life. Selena only lived 23 years. Her life was just beginning. And it's unfair. It's so unfair. And it was so preventable. That's the angry part about her death. It was so preventable. In many ways. In many ways. And I've said this in plenty of videos. In many ways, it was so preventable. And I don't know. But I'm not going to dwell on that. We just celebrate that. We just celebrate the win that she is not being released and that Selena's music lives forever and she gained so many fans before and after her death, and it just gets better and better. So with that being said, I'm going to end the video here because it's getting late and I haven't eaten yet and I'm getting sleepy. So I will be back with another video if I find, something else to discuss. But until then, peace.
An awesome performer, entertainer, singer, just all-around person.
¿Cómo la recordarás? Her birthday's coming up. How you?
All the time, remember her smile especially. So, but gotta go, you guys.
Chris, they're saying that supposedly Yolanda is gonna be freed in 2025. What do you think about that?
I don't.